And I think it's kind of funny. There was a meme floating around the internet talking about how this movie is 2 hours and XYZ long and you never get to see the creature's penis. And I always thought that that comment was hilarious until I finished the book.
I'm seeing things that aren't real. I'm seeing things I shouldn't see. I'm dreaming things I've never seen.
You're beginning to think in images, concrete images. Hot, cold, light, dark, food, hunger, pain.
Hey guys, it's Inkeater, and welcome to tonight's time lapse. So if you missed last night, we did a little bit of live streaming. We're going to be doing that every week. I don't know exactly when we're going to be doing that, whether it's going to be a Sunday, a Monday. I was just kind of going on a whim. What was really cool was getting to chat with a few of you guys who actually joined in. Granted, I didn't have my microphone set up, so it was kind of like one of those like, scrambling to type situation. I'm gonna have to figure out the microphone situation. What I'll probably do is I'll probably buy like an extra thing so I can plug in more USBs. I only have 2 slots, so couldn't necessarily plug in a microphone on top of what I already had plugged in. But yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So sorry if I wasn't talking and there was just a ton of music. I just genuinely didn't expect somebody to join in on the chat and actually chat with me. And it's so freaking cool. So I can't wait, and I look forward to doing it again. In case you're curious, we're live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope all at the same time. I have to figure out the logistics of like actually seeing all the different chats on the different social media. So all I know is that there was people on YouTube. I don't know necessarily about Twitch or Periscope. So if you ever join in on the live streams and I don't chat right away, I'm sorry. I'm probably not looking at the chat because I'm drawing. And so in case you're curious who we were drawing, I will leave a link to that live stream down below. But essentially we were drawing the shape of water. Or you can just wait here and watch the time lapse speed up. I was waiting for it to dry to actually add a lot more detail into the creature's face. I'll probably do that a little later on and share that progress with you guys later, but I absolutely love how this turned out. It's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and also the audiobook, is where she ends up sharing an egg with the creature, and that's how she starts to communicate with him. I really also like the fact that the actual audiobook, the particular main character, I can't think of what her main name is right now because it's escaping me, but I love how she intertwines music as a way to speak to the creature. And it's kind of one of those things that if you're not aware of, you probably just won't watch it. But one of the things that I really appreciate was the music that they actually included into the film, and the fact that they touched on how that's how she relates to the real world. And so it's kind of cool in that respect. Granted, there's a lot of things that I didn't care for in terms of the movie. So basically, there's 2 people behind the audiobook, I guess I want to say, or the book per se. Essentially, you've got Guillermo del Toro and Daniel Cross, I believe is his name. I might be butchering it right now. But essentially, both of them wrote the same story, or basically were creating around the same story. Essentially, Daniel shared with Guillermo this idea that he had about doing a creature from the Black Lagoon and how they're testing on it to try to see how they can use it in terms of going to outer space or in the army or in basically war, and they're exploiting this creature and they're trying to figure out how to use him. And that's mainly what the film focuses in on. They don't necessarily go into the fact that the creature is actually a part of Brazilian mythology and folklore, or at least that was my understanding in the book. Granted, I haven't had the time to actually look up the creature, so that's going to be missing from here until I can get the book and actually flip through and find the name, because to try to pick through an audiobook and try to find a certain word, I will say that's probably where audiobooks fail. And I always feel like you need a book, you need an audiobook, you need them both. Because that's probably like the one thing that I actually dislike about reading the audiobook, is that I can't just flip through and find the name of the creature to basically say the name of the creature is blank. But that's the one opportunity that I feel was missed, because both Guillermo and Daniel basically talk mainly about how the creature is based off the creature from the Black Lagoon, when the reality is it's a creature in Brazilian mythology and folklore, and you guys aren't even talking about it, and it makes me angry. That, and the fact that they made the main character, the girl, look like a horn dog. And it was kind of the reverse. It was Strickland who was the horn dog, realistically. And I think it's kind of funny. There was a meme floating around the internet talking about how this movie is 2 hours and XYZ long and you never get to see the creature's penis. And I always thought that that comment was hilarious until I finished the book. The fact that most people were ticked off about how you never get to see the penis of the creature, and you're probably like, oh my god, why am I mentioning penis? Well, there's about like 2-3 chapters in the audiobook where they do nothing but talk about penises. And that comment on Rotten Tomatoes, there's a valid point there. I mean, considering you went penis wild in the book and you talked about penises, and then you decided to just kind of like omit it and like walk around it. And it was kind of implied conversation between the two cleaners, but never cleared up. And it's kind of one of those things like, really? Really? But I feel like there was missed opportunity in terms of basically taking the audiobook or the book itself and turning it into a movie. And I was kind of disappointed that neither author decided to actually say, yeah, it's about blank. And they just kind of wanted to talk about the creature from the Black Lagoon, which, don't get me wrong, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, there was so much opportunity, and maybe that's just me. Anyway, I really love how this drawing came out. Like I said, I'm probably going to add a little bit more texture to it. I thought the film was okay. You can say that I'm not a fan of the movie. Granted, it is visually beautiful. I will give it that. I am a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro's work, but I was just kind of disappointed at the fact that there was some really cool shit there that you could have talked about, and you're choosing not to talk about it. Granted, I get it. Guillermo's movie is like one thing, and Daniel Cross's book is another, but when you share them and you try to lump them together, it kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth, or maybe that's just me. Anyway, let me know down in the comments below if you've seen The Shape of Water, or you've read the book. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Or were you just a movie buff and you just didn't give two shits about the book? Let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like this drawing, definitely hit the like button down below. And if not, no worries. But yeah, hope you guys are doing awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye!
Whatever it is that you believe you're seeing, it's not real.
Seeing things before they happen.
Things are not always what they seem in this place. So you can't take anything for granted.